The internet is a strange place filled with porn, cat videos, mockery, and nonsense. And occasionally, every now and then, we stumble across some nonsense that's so nonsensical we have to post a vlog about it, like we did earlier today. But just when I thought, oh, I'm done for the day, I can sit down and watch Star Trek reruns. Nope! I find not one, but two heapings of stupidity on the website that claims to be the resource for all things gaming and geeky and comic books. So it's me, the OG GM. Time to take a look at not one, but two utterly wrong stories written by individuals who obviously didn't even bother to, even Google their topic. All right, so number one. Dungeons & Dragons come to Pacific Rim, Highlander, Kong Skull Island, and more movie. Dungeons & Dragons comes to Pacific Rim, Highlander, Kong Skull Island, and more movies. Evil Genius Game has announced a series of cinematic adventures that will bring popular movies franchises like Pacific Rim and Highlander to Dungeons & Dragons for their upcoming Everyday Heroes D20 Modern game. Okay, first, Evil Genius Games announced a series of cinematic adventures. Evil Genius Games, not Wizards of the Coast, not Hasbro. Evil Genius Games, a company that at this point in time is not owned by Hasbro, announced a series of cinematic adventures that they will bring popular movie franchises like Pacific Rim and Highlander to life using D&D. For D&D. Nope. No. It is not for D&D. It does not use D&D. It is for their upcoming game, Everyday Heroes, a modern uptake of the D20 Modern role-playing game. It uses the 5e SRD. The 5e SRD and Dungeons & Dragons are two completely different things. I can make tons of content using the 5e SRD, and I've already written one, and Wizards of the Coast doesn't have any say on it. It doesn't have anything to do with Dungeons & Dragons. This upcoming product will not be a Dungeons & Dragons product. It is a completely separate entity from a completely separate company that has absolutely nothing to do with D&D other than the fact that it uses the 5e SRD, which subtext I think is a mistake. That was the one flaw with D20 Modern, was trying to make it D&D Modern, and D&D Modern doesn't work. Maybe Everyday Heroes will fix all the things that was wrong with D20 Modern and actually make a good, working, decent D20 modern day system, but really Spycraft was better than D20 Modern, even though it didn't get as much press. So yes, these guys have picked up a bunch of IPs like Kong Skull Island and Rambo for their Everyday Modern. That does not mean you can play Rambo in your Dungeons & Dragons game. No, this has nothing to do with Dungeons & Dragons. I do not want to see a post tomorrow saying how Dungeons & Dragons now owns these IPs. Number 2. Dragons of Shipwreck Island, or whatever it's called. Stormkeep Island, I don't know, what's it called? The new one? The new starter set will replace Mind of Feldelvin as the starter set. Dragons of Stormwreck Island, or Shipwreck Island, or whatever this latest expansion starter set is called, it will replace Minds of Feldelvin as the official starter set for 5e, for people who don't want to buy the Player's Handbook and Dungeon Master's Guide, but want to buy the cute little box. Will replace. So it's going to go back in time and replace Minds. Except, of course, no, it will not replace. One, because Minds of Pendelvin, or whatever it's called, Pendelvin, is one of, if not the best adventure Wizards of the Coast has written for 5e. It literally is the perfect beginning 5e adventure. it ranks in the top 3, if not the top 1, for things Wizards of the Coast has made for 5e. The second one, Dragons of Icespire, was a continuation of Mines of Pendelhaven. So when they made the second starter set, they made sure you knew that the adventure was a continuation, and the maps and everything was a continuation of the adventure that started in the first starter set. And with the third one coming out, Stormwreck Island, Dragons of Stormwreck Island, again, this is a sequel to Dragons of Icespire, which is a sequel to Mines. So this isn't replacing Mines, it's continuing with Mines while updating all the rules and presenting them in a format where individuals who haven't picked up the game yet and want to start learning can just grab it and start running with it. And then if they like it, they pick up the actual Player's Handbook later. So it's got all the latest rules and updates and everything as of today, but it's not replacing Mines. Because in 2 years, for the 50th anniversary, with D&D 5.5 or D&D 6.0, they've already said they're going to release another one. So you can't say this one is now going to be the official starter set from which all other D&D adventures spin off of, because it's a continuation of the adventure that was started in the first one. And Wizards of the Coast has already made it very clear, come 50th anniversary 2024, they're going to have another one come out to introduce you to whatever it is they're going to do in 2024, be that the 6th edition starter set or the 5.5 revamp. Here are all the new current rules post-Tasha, post-Mordecaians for 2024. Here's D&D 5.5. It'll be called like Dragons of Spelljammer or whatever, and it will continue the story. So no, Dragons of Stormwreck, Shipwreck Island is not going to replace the first two. And no, those are not the characters from the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon. They are an homage to the characters from the Dungeons & Dragons cartoon. Because depending upon which ending of the cartoon you watch, it makes it very clear that at the end, the kids got to go home. Otherwise, it would be really tragic and really pathetic to think that the kids are still trapped on that island, constantly being forced to fight this stupid war because Dungeon Master won't make peace with his son, Venger. Yep, spoilers, Venger was Dungeon Master's son. And the whole thing was that Dungeon Master could have sent the kids home at any point in time. He lied, and he used the kids to fight his battle with Venger because he didn't have the guts to do it himself. So really, Dungeon Master is not the heroic character of that show. He's a pathetic bad father who would rather risk the lives of innocent kids than just deal with his son. Yeah. So there we go. Some fake news from a certain respectable site. No, Evil Genius Games is not releasing IPs for Dungeons & Dragons. These are for their upcoming game. Okay? All right? So this is you. All right? This is you for not even bothering to look things up. Okay? This is you just doing a bad job, kind of like your dad did when he left your mom. It's just you posting false information, kind of like your mom did when she gave you that phone number to that kid. So just stop it. Till next time, I have been the OGGM. If you appreciate the nonsense coming out of my mouth, let me know. I, for one, am looking forward to combining Skull Island with Pacific Rim with Ultraman, and then finally getting the stats for TJ Storm as Godzilla. See ya!